Well, today we share the story about our trip to China. Remember we told you about that. Now we're back in our Vancouver office and we shared the story about this. And I think it was great. If not for Tina, I would not survive there. Where did we go?
We have been Beijing, Hangzhou, Ningbo, and Shanghai.
Right.
Yeah.
And all four cities, she took care of me amazingly. But I know that some people help her on the ground. Those were your friends, right?
Yeah, those my friends, high school friends and university friends.
Right.
Yeah. Also our client. They
Yes.
We
we met our clients. We met good friends from her schoolmates, I guess, from university. It was amazing support on the ground, right?
Yes.
Without them, we couldn't survive. Okay, so 4 cities. We divided this video in different segments because all 4 cities were amazing. Events were absolutely great. Tina, thank you very much sincerely for all your support on the ground. Without you, this trip would not happen. So enjoy the video, watch until the end, share, like, and definitely leave your comment below because we want to hear what you think about our amazing journey of Anyvisa in China. We are in China and we are in Beijing, and we cannot start talking about Beijing without knowing the history. And the history obviously here in Museum of Communist Party of China. As people say in the East, we cannot talk about future without knowing the past. We cannot build anything without knowing our foundation. So that's exactly why we're here. We explore in Beijing and start here as, I guess, our tribute to the power of China. We're in the Museum of Contemporary Art, and I would like to remind people that this is a history of China, and as the history of China is so rich, people try to reconstruct it. So everything you see in Museum of Contemporary Art, pretty much fresh. I didn't see any exhibit more than 50 years old, but it's just amazing how people deliver the message from the past through their art, through their skills, and incredible love for Chinese culture. Well, in ancient China, not so ancient, but let's say mid-centuries, this is how it was made. And calligraphy was actually an exam. To take any government position, you had to spend 1 year writing calligraphy, and if you pass that exam, you can work for the government on different levels. I wish current bureaucrats will pass that exam as well. This is what people called car in those days. Well, no horsepowers, of course, but 4 human powers would enough to carry you around. And when you get married, you definitely need a bigger car. This one is like 6 horsepower, and I think they call it a limo those days. When you see exhibits like this, you probably will understand the Chinese culture. And it's not only patience, it's detail-oriented design converted into incredible piece of art. We are right in the middle of Olympic Park, which is in the center of Beijing, and structure behind me is a bird's nest. Bird's nest was constructed in 2008 in anticipation of Beijing Olympics. It represents the bird's nest, the caring nature of Olympics itself. So if you move just across the street, we will see the water cube. That's basically the Olympic pool and represents the fluidity of water, the strong nature of water, and all inclusivity as well. So I think it's a beautiful, beautiful place to be, and we will come back here tonight to see the show of light and entertainment. Okay, we return to Bird's Nest, and as you can see, it's a beautiful view from outside. Practically no crowd, people attending concerts. It's a beautiful night in Beijing, and I think we'll continue with another beautiful shot for you. As promised, we return to the water cube as well, and as you can see, it's very beautifully highlighted from inside. So we are in a Great Wall. Actually, we are on the Great Wall, and you see behind me some pieces of it The Great Wall is amazing part of Chinese history. And when I say history, we're talking about Ming Dynasty. We're talking about 200 years prior to before Christ, and then 200 years past. It lasted for 400 years. It was constructed during that dynasty. Nobody knows exactly the timing it was of this construction, but the length of the Great Wall more than 20,000 miles. Just imagine the construction of this. It's amazing. And when you own it, you feel the power, you feel the, the history. And it's a great wall, and it's great to be here. Qin dynasty, actually, the emperor whose mother was very powerful lady. She basically ran the palace, and she ordered even to renovate this summer palace based on funds dedicated for navy. So she redirected those funds. She built this, upgraded and renovated this palace. Beautiful place, 60 pavilions and 60 separate residences. So she knew how to make fun and how to have fun. So, and yeah, it was great actually, and still great. You can kind of see people moving in that century. It was 18th century when it was built, and then renovated in 19th century heavily. So yeah, beautiful place still. Today I took a moment of silence and unity of nature. That's what probably many Chinese found very natural. I'm in the middle of Beijing, the city of millions and millions of people, but it's quiet here, and quiet in the middle of the day, of course. Rare people walking by and enjoying the nature and serenity of this quiet park in the middle of chaos. The view of Forbidden City from this highest elevation is magnificent. So you see the whole city from atop, and from left to right you see the whole wall wrapping the city around, and its magnificent temple inside. It's probably worth to mention the White Pagoda, which sits on an island overlooking the lake right in the middle of the city. This is built in 16th century during Yin dynasty, I believe. This is a famous Xinjiang lamb barbecue, so they cook it right in front of you. Very fresh lamb, very nice taste. We're gonna try it. Speaking of innovation in China is not easy for two reasons. First of all, it's a boom of innovation here. We observe enormous progress in different areas of across industries, pretty much, from AI to certain agricultural technologies and many other areas of modern world being innovative here. Like only electric vehicles, we don't have one and only without competition, like in some countries in the world, but six companies successfully compete with each other, and production of those vehicles, they coming from the future, some of them. And by the way, they're not that boring and kind of dull like Tesla inside. You drive a real car, you see real gadgets, and you actually see, you enjoy the comfort, let's put it this way. Well, this is our day 2 at the exhibition in Beijing, and I think we're doing so far so good. We have many clients who potentially want to sign up and start business with us, and that's a great direct contact we actually dream about. That's why I'm here, and Tina is helping me, and we're working on very significant next step in our life as an Anyvisa, and definitely Anyvisa China is here to stay. So great result, great exhibition, great visitors, and I think great outcome that we anticipate. We're at the West Lake in Hanzhou, and Hanzhou used to be the capital of China during Song Dynasty. Actually, amazing history, an amazing city, green like I never saw before in China or pretty much anywhere in the world. It's extremely green, extremely flourish. The Hanzhou famous for lakes. 36 lakes around the city in a region, but this is the prominent place where people gather during Sundays and holidays, and definitely all tourists flock in the area. The area is so ecologically clean, you can almost feel it, and no wonder it gave birth to DeepSeek and TikTok and Alibaba. It just flourished in everything here, like your mind is open to nature, and I think that plays certain role in success in business. This is a very interesting place because Alibaba is in this building and they grew exponentially. Their campus is now much bigger than this building. They started here and they grew in a worldwide conglomerate. Now, I would like to explain a little bit more about this area. This is something they call, actually sign here says Brain City. So obviously the brainstorming goes inside this nice ecosystem. A lot of students, a lot of young developers and IT professionals work in this building and in this area. Alibaba is just one of the examples of success here in Hangzhou, and I think there is no limit. They're still working on very amazing things here. What you see behind me is a West Lake. Like I mentioned, it's one of the 36 lakes, but probably the most prominent one. And you can see on the background the new Hanzoo. Well, we're trying the Hanzoo special soup. It's done with chicken and some shrimp, and it looks very delicious. And the second one is definitely this little langoustines, which are big shrimps. And the way you eat it here, and by the way, that's why this restaurant is famous. It's a Hangzhou famous dish with freshly cut shrimp, and you have to take one. I guess break the head. Then you break the head and clean up the shells, and you eat it. This academy that we talk about, Wasson Academy, eventually with years became kind of shadow for romantic relationship, and lately, for the last few years or maybe decades, it became a matching corner for families. So this matchmaking site, how it works exactly? I asked locals and they said it's quite interesting. Parents come in usually together. They put a sign in front of them on the floor, description of their son or daughter, age, maybe size, maybe preferences, pretty much everything they can put together. And then they walk around and see other parents and they talk to them and they see if their signs will match and if their information will connect, and then kids kind of taking over if they like each other from parents' description. So it's very interesting. So many technologies and ideas flourish in Hanzhou, and now I see why, because this is absolutely incredibly unique ecosystem here, and I definitely connect the nature and the balance between nature and life and prosperity and innovation. Well, good afternoon.
下午好。
下午好。We're in the city of Ninbo, which is a little town of 10 million people, and Actually, I was amazed by the history of this town. It goes back to 7,000 years. It's a home of the oldest library in China, and also the beautiful city on both sides of the river. Because of this river, it became one of the biggest ports in China, and because of that, a lot of interesting development in town appeared for the last 20 years. The city of Ningbo is quite unusual for China for two reasons. It's probably the most industrialized city I ever visited, but at the same time it's rather quiet. But what's important and what's interesting, it's the most westernized city I ever met, even beyond Beijing, because they have many pubs, they have many restaurants. They actually have American Plaza, they call it, so many foreign entities and restaurants concentrated around that place. And it's very interesting to see how locals tolerate this culture, actually adapt it and like it. What you see behind me, if you can read Chinese, you can read Book City Ninbo. Ninbo is not only the house of the first library in China, thousands of years go back on this spot where people educate themselves, created literature and first books, but also the house of multiple bookstores. With all this enormous size, in Shanghai, you can definitely find the spot, quiet area in a park or the alley like this one, and enjoy your own time, meditating, thinking, uniting with nature, and enjoy this quiet moment of serenity. A fitness area like this one is quite a popular feature of any park, any public area of Shanghai, and actually every other city in China I happen to visit. And it's quite interesting that people are taking care of seniors, little ones. They show them how to exercise, what to do and what not to do, because you can easily hurt yourself if you don't know how to operate some of those machines. Okay, to start, it's a rice wine, and the size of the bowl is actually huge. I don't know if people get drunk, like it may be like for 5-6 people. We'll try to handle it. So essentially, this is how you eat frog in Shanghai. You put a bread on your plate and put frog on the bread. It's a frog, by the way. It's very nice. So it let fat dry a little on a bread, and then you eat it. You can see the frog. Okay, so let's try it.
Yeah. 一敲横运当头好吐二敲心想事成 swing OK 三敲身体健康
And now they serve traditional Shanghai chicken, cutting right in front of you. We're in a famous Jade Buddha temple, the famous monument of Buddha made of jade, the whole thing of a few stones. But what we see and what we observe here is a central square of this temple where many active monks actually work and live and serve Buddha. And this is the Buddha, declining Buddha as they say, the famous Jade Buddha, made apparently from one solid piece of marble or jade in this case. We are in the sports museum of Shanghai, which is probably the biggest collection of all the sports history attributes and stories from around the world. And by the way, speaking of museums, I think it's worth to know that actually it's free access for the public. All museums, all temples They are free to attend, and it's very easy for people. And I think it's great because that's how you raise the next generation, giving free access to history and interesting facts from your country and from around the world. This is a famous food street. Well, many of those locations are in Shanghai, but this one is very famous for most prominent Shanghai-based food. It's like an ongoing food festival. What you can see here: sausages, crabs, little crabs, and well, I guess it's popcorn shrimp. And well, variety is huge. Prepare your appetite when you go in here. Well, this is what we have in calamari, made right on the street in front of your eyes. Looks very delicious. On a beautiful Sunday morning, nothing can be better than just a stroll in Mon Roses in a beautiful, beautiful garden in the center of Shanghai. Practically no one here, and I can meditate, I can walk in this beautiful, beautiful flower beds and just smell the roses. So I will present very unique view on Canadian immigration, how people move to Canada.